So this is the first of the series of the last 6 months. Previously to 6 months, Xena was fine. There was no issues, no breathing difficulties, which a lot of pugs have because of squashed noses, no signs of encephalitis, which is what she possibly has. So going back to the beginning, 6 months ago, we thought maybe she had a sore back. She was basically being upright, and then she would start going back, and then she'd fall over. There wasn't any signs of seizures at that time. She was just showing that maybe she had problems with one of her discs, or she'd hurt herself jumping off the bed or something like that. Later on we found that she started having seizures. So we went to the vets, and she got put on to steroids. While we were looking into it, we did an x-ray which showed possibly narrowing of the discs, but that also could have been just the way that she was lying, or just her maybe. So just going back, PDE, pug dog encephalitis, is not meant to be in New Zealand, even though there is a few cases of it, and it's basically pug dog encephalitis, so we're talking about fluid on the brain and the spine. And there's also just normal syphilitis, which can be from bacterial or just something that happens, but PDE is from breeding, which isn't treatable. There's been movies on YouTube about stories and people sharing their dog having PDE overseas, but PDE doesn't seem to be diagnosed until death. There's not much research around now, or much testing to determine whether it is PDE while the dog is alive. So that's about that. Unfortunately, yeah, if you look on YouTube though, there's quite a lot of movies about PDE, and I must say that there's only a couple of traits that Xena seems to have. One is that when she has a seizure, she ran around in circles for a bit, and she also went partly blind in one of her eyes for a few days. But if you look on YouTube, a lot of the dogs that have BDE, they sort of walk quite slowly, high stepping, which is another pug thing which Xena has, high stepping. So they sort of high step over to the wall, and then they walk along the wall, and then they do a little bit of trying to climb up the wall. She hasn't done much of that, so who's to say? So there's that. There's heaps of research online about what PDE is, but there's no research really to determine whether your dog has it. Dogs that are on steroids can have difficulty doing spinal taps because the steroid reduces the fluid and the information. So to do a spinal tap, which Xena had, they did attempt to do one, which I'll come to. Yeah, there's not sort of much can be done. So I will be back in a second to do my next movie. Please find that further down. Cheers.